Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday. How are you today, my friends? I hope you had a fantastic weekend. All right, we are coming towards the end of March already. It doesn't seem possible. I mean, we've got another week and a few days, I think, but it's coming by so fast. Spring is here, and I'm super excited about that. The warmer weather, the fresher air, lawns being mowed, grass, clippings, flowers and trees blooming, which means seasonal allergies. Yay! So if I happen to sneeze or cough or sniffle or something to that effect, just know that it is not the Rona. It is, in fact, seasonal allergies, and I appreciate your concerns, and thank you so much for the well wishes and for your grace when I cough and sneeze and hack and all kinds of funny, weird things that happen with seasonal allergies. Hi, Miss Sharon. How are you today? I see a lot of folks coming on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please feel free to say hello, comment, engage, interact. I love chatting with you all. All right, folks, today's Make It Monday project is a bright, cheery, fun, fantastic card that features the In Bloom stamp and die bundle. And I absolutely love this bundle. Probably my current absolute favorite floral stamp and die bundle. I'm not entirely sure. It's a close tie between this one and Pretty Perennials, but I believe In Bloom is going to take the cake for me. Hi, Miss Elaine, Miss Eileen. How are you, gals? One of the things that I absolutely love about the In Bloom bundle is, as you can see on my card here, I have all of these beautiful die cut pieces, and every one of them have stitching. Isn't that great? Look at the label is stitching, the flowers, the leaves, oh, so pretty. I just love them. So let me show you the stamp and die bundle right quick before we get started here. The stamp set has some beautiful sentiments. They've got nice, thick, bold letters, as you can see from the You Are Amazing here. And there's a ton of different flower combinations that you can go with here. Absolutely fantastic. We've got stems, we have leaves, we have all kinds of flowers, big, medium, little, centers, layers, all kinds of fun stuff. So absolutely beautiful. And then when we open it up and take a look at all of these dies, oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, so here's the label. The leaves, absolutely beautiful. And you've got your choice of leaf singles or leaf pairs or leaf stems. So sweet. And a bow even. I didn't use it, but look at that. So pretty. So dainty too. Of course, I'm going to do more projects and I'll have to show you how that bow looks because it's just adorable. And then you can see there's a lot here that you can layer upon layer upon layer, which I love so very much. And each and every piece, except this one and the stem, all of them have stitching, which is just so much fun. I love stitched dies. All right, folks. So this is available on my website, of course. You can go to danasullivan.stampinup.net to purchase that. And you're going to want it because it's springtime. It's time to bring out the cheerful colors and the flowers and get out of the gloom and doom of wintertime. I'm so excited. I can hardly stand it. It's worth all the sneezing, coughing, hacking of seasonal allergies to have this beautiful weather, to go outside in my flip-flops. Hello, where are my flip-flop girls? to go outside in my flip-flops and enjoy the sunshine on my face and not freeze to death. Okay, so today's card, absolutely beautiful. All of the beautiful colors in the rainbow are here, except for yellow, which I didn't realize, but you know what, that's okay. Yellow is a great color, and it will be for another day. All right, so here's what I've got. I've started with a Coastal Cabana card. I've added a pool party layer, and check it out. I don't know if you're noticing that brick and mortar embossing back there. Isn't that cool? And this little piece right here is just a quick little sneaky peek of that designer series paper that's coming out in the 2021 annual catalog. You guys know I've shown you that paper before. It was available to folks who signed up for the starter kit during Celebration last month. But now you'll have to wait until the catalog goes live in May. Sad face, but I have a little bit of it here that I'm able to play with, so I put that on there. And then this is just a little scrap piece of Highland Heather, and of course Highland Heather flowers. I've got some Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, and Melon Mambo. So let me get the supplies, and there's a lot, and I've already done the die cutting because, let's face it, for all of these little bits and pieces that would take me a while, and you know, we don't want to wait that long just to watch all of the die cutting. So I did go ahead and do that in advance. All right, what I have is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock, scored at 4 1/4 for our card base. I'll give that just a quick burnish with the bone folder. I have a piece of 4" by 5 1/4" basic white cardstock for the inside of the card. I have a piece of, 3 inches by 4.5 inches of Pool Party, and I've used, of course, the brick and mortar embossing folder for this one. I've got a piece of basic white cardstock using the stitched shapes dies to make the stitched circle. Now this is just a little something here behind the flowers to kind of hang on to them, and I used the stitched as opposed to the layering circles because I wanted to tie in the stitching, of course. So I have that, and then I have the stitched label that comes from the In Bloom bundle. So this is also included in the Stampin' Die bundle. You don't have to worry about finding another label, which is fabulous. This piece is 7/8 of an inch by 4 inches, and as you can see a little more clearly the detail on the designer series paper, I'm loving this pattern. I cannot wait for the new catalog to come out for this one to be readily available because the patterns are absolutely gorgeous in this pack. So I'm loving that. All right, we have that. And then here is that little scrap. I told you it was just a little piece right back here of the Highland Heather. This is 1 inch by approximately 3/4 of an inch. It's just a scrap. It really doesn't matter about the size particularly. I just wanted a little splash of color right here. Okay, so just whatever little scrap you've got on hand, it's gonna go like that. All right, now I've got 3 leaves. I have 2 of the longer skinny ones and 1 of the little squattier one. And then I have a Bermuda Bay flower, a Melon Mambo flower, a Highland Heather flower, and then 2 little Highland Heather flowers. All right, that's all of the paper stuff. And of course, you've got your basic white envelope, so I'll dress that up when we get to Stampin'. Let me sit this stuff right there. And then I'm using the frosted and clear epoxy droplets for all of the little flower centers and the embellishment up here. I thought it added just the right amount of something to make it beautiful and stick out. So I really liked that added pop. It was great. Okay, now I'm also going to be using some colors. So as you can see on the inside of the card and the envelope, I've added all of those colors. I've brought them in. So I'm going to be using Melon Mambo, Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and Granny Apple Green. I know that's a lot of colors, and if you're playing along, you don't have to use all of those colors, but I just liked them all because they coordinated very well with the colors that I'm using on the card. So if there's something here that you don't have and you love it, of course, you can order it on my website as well. And let me set these up here, and then we will get started. I'm just going to move those ink pads out of the way because there's a lot of them. And of course you can see that I am using the Memento black ink pad as well. So we're going to use that for our sentiment. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Let me get all of these little bits and pieces set aside, and I'm going to do some stamping first. Because that sentiment is a nice bold print, you really want to make sure that you can stamp it and set it aside for just a second. That way you don't smudge or smear it, because inevitably that will happen, at least if your luck is like mine. So I'm using You Are Amazing, and as you know, tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. So we're going to just tap that down, and then I'm going to lean over here trying to stay out of the way. Let me get just a little more ink right there. There we go. And give it a good firm even press down. And then lift it straight up, whoop, and take the label with you. There we go. All right, now that we've got that, I'm not going to use any more of the black, so I can set it aside, and I'm going to set the label up here out of the way. And then let's go ahead and stamp the white piece that's going to go on the inside. And while we're stamping that, we'll go ahead and stamp the envelope, because you're going to have these out. You might as well just stamp, 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 right? Okay, so let me set that off to the side here. I'm going to get my envelope handy, and I'm going to get the white piece for the inside. And then what I want to do, whoops, I did not put the stem on a block. So let me get that out right quick. There we go. All right, now with the stem, I'm using Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use one end of the stem to go this direction and one end of the stem to go the other direction. So I'm going to stamp half and half here. All right, so let me notice I'm just inking up about half of it, and I'm going to go this direction. And then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to ink up the other half of it and go this direction. Okay, just like that. All right, now I'm not going to use any more of that, but I am going to use the leaf. I'm using the smaller of the two, or the skinnier of the two here. Let me tap on that, and then this one's going to go down here, and this one will go farther up here. And I just make sure that I'm barely touching the edge of my stem. That way it looks like it's attached. And then I'm not putting any green on the envelope itself, so we're done with this one. All right, now I'm going to get some Highland Heather, and I'm using that big daisy stamp. Tap, and want to line it up so that the flower looks like it's stuck in the stem. but I don't want to mess with the leaf, so I'm trying to be strategic here, which is only marginally working for me. There we go. All right, and then I'm gonna set that off, and I'm gonna do one here, and I can hang it off the edge. I don't have to worry too much about it. And this one I'm gonna hang off the edge a lot. I like doing that because it gives me some more room on my space, and it looks a little more fluid. So it's nice that it kind of sets off of the page a little bit. All right, we're done with the Highland Heather. Let's bring in the Gorgeous Grape, and I'm using the little centerpiece that's bigger dots, if that makes any sense. It's this one right here, and I'm gonna stamp that right in the middle of my flowers, just like that, to give them a little bit of texture. And bring in that inside piece. There we go. And then I'm done with that one. See, this goes pretty quick. Even though there's a lot of stamping and a lot of different colors, it goes pretty quick. Okay, now I want to do Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to use the other bigger stamp. So this one is this guy right here. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, now truly the most difficult thing of the whole deal here is to line these up remotely where they're not overlapping too much and not too far off the stem. Okay, now this one I can put here, and then I'm finished with the Coastal Cabana. See, we're going pretty quick. All right, now I'm going to bring in that funny looking, this one reminds me of a Dr. Seuss book. Just a little pom-pommy looking thing there. And we'll get Bermuda Bay. I like bringing in the colors that I've got die cut out into my stamping, so that way everything coordinates and looks like it belongs together. That always makes it nice. There we go. And I'm done with that one. We're going along so quickly, it's wonderful. Okay, now I'm bringing in Melon Mambo and the little bitty cluster. This one right here. And we're going to use this one right in the middle of the Bermuda Bay. There. And then I'm also going to use it as kind of a filler. There we go. Just to give a little bit around the flowers. Okay, now we'll set those aside so that they can totally dry and we don't smudge anything. Smudging is bad. Okay, back to the card. Here we go. We're going to take this piece that we've already embossed using the 3D brick and mortar and our Stampin' seal, and we'll just run some along the edges. Now, when I'm doing a 3D embossed piece, I want to make sure that I'm putting adhesive around all four edges close to the edge, because sometimes that added texture, the raised up sections, make it not really stick very well to the paper. So I find that if I run adhesive all the way around the four edges, it helps make sure that the piece doesn't lift. Alright, now this one is not for those people who like symmetry. So if you're one of those people, look away, because we are not putting this in the center from left to right, and we are not putting it in the center, top to bottom. So we're putting it over towards the left, close towards the bottom, right here in the corner. Now, it's not even the same distance between here and here, so if that really throws you off, I'm sorry. Just breathe. Woosah. It'll be okay because it's going to be beautiful when everything is put on it. Okay, now we have this strip here, and a quick and easy way to make a dovetail is to just take your snips right up the approximate center, just a little more than 1/4 of an inch, a little less than half, or approximate half, whatever. And then you're going to go from the outside corner to the inside point, just like that, and then do the same thing on this side, just like that, and you get a pretty close to centered, if not perfectly centered, dovetail. And we're going to use Stampin' Seal again to attach this. Here we go. And this piece is gonna go right about there. So again, not centered. I'm very sorry, but I promise it will all come together beautifully. Okay, now we're gonna bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals and put some on the back side of this stitched circle. There we go. Everyone's doing good. Okay. Let's put this just underneath the edge of the Designer Series paper. I want it to show on top, but I also want to make sure that my circle doesn't go over the edge here. So I'm going to go like this. Now I know there's a whole lot of not equal balance and all of that stuff, and I'll keep saying that because I'm actually reminding myself too that it'll be fine. I'm definitely one of those people who like to center everything and line it up nicely, and this card is so not that. However, there is some grace here, and that is that this piece I can put on in the middle of my label. So this one I am going to line up. Okay, make sure I'm still in the screen here so you can see. I've put a little bit of glue on the bottom half, and I'm just going to line it up approximate center. That looks pretty good. Listen, quit sliding. There we go. Alright, that's good. And then I'm going to put this on dimensionals as well. There we go. Alright. And now I can put this on my card. Right about there. Okay, looking good so far. All right, now I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm adding a leaf to each one of my little flowers. So I'm just going to take a tiny little touch of glue on the bottom of the leaf petal. Leaf isn't a petal, just a leaf. You know, this thing. A little bit of glue right there. And I'm going to layer it right behind my flower. Just like that. I'll get the words out eventually. Okay, and then just like that, and one more. Woo, my glue's starting to do its thing. You know, they get air bubbles and they will just ooze out, and it's so much fun. That was dripping sarcasm. Awful stuff when it does that. Okay, now the purple one we're going to put down directly onto the circle because we have to build some layers here. So I'm just going to smear some of that on, and I'm going to close the lid because otherwise that glue is going to ooze out everywhere and make a mess. All right. Assembling your flowers onto this piece, you want to remember that your edges of your card are definitive edges, okay? Imagine that that's a box and there are sides here and you cannot go past it, because if you do, it's not going to fit in the envelope, okay? So we want to make sure that our leaf that would be sticking out is going to point up just a little bit. And it can go at an angle, but we just want to make sure that we're clear right here on this side. All right, so there we go. And I like the fact that it's hanging over the edges of the circle, so that's good. All right, now we're going to bring in a little bit of dimensionals. Remember, as I say, 2 layers of dimension total if you're planning on sending it out in the mail. So I've got 1 layer of dimension behind the circle, so I can only have 1 more layer of dimension on this card. So I'm going to put 1 behind this flower, and I'm going to put 1 behind this flower, and then we'll layer these 2 onto our circle. Now I think all right, here we go. So this one will go here. Hold on. Wait. Not on top of it, just beside it. There we go. And then this one will go here, making sure the edges don't go over. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna brave opening this glue again, put a drop right there, close it up real fast, and put one of these little flowers right there. And then we already have 1 layer of dimension here, but I want one of the flowers to be popped up, so I'm going to put a mini dimensional right there on the back of that one. And I want to leave enough room that the center is showing, because I'm going to put a little epoxy stone right there. So you can see how much difference those epoxy droplets make. It's incredible, isn't it? Okay, now that we have all of that on, let's go ahead and make the pretty. I'm going to get my quick take your pick tool, my favorite tool in my entire collection. I love this tool. It is perfect for all sorts of things. One more here. Not quite even. I will line these up because I feel like if it has a line, it needs to be a line. Otherwise, it just looks weird. So if you can keep it from being a straight line, then that's great. But if you can't, it needs to be straight. So for all that crazy cattywampus stuff, now we'll put that line there. We go. All right, and then let's put a big one on each of the big flowers. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. See it coming together. It looks so nice. All right, and then the last ones, we'll put a little center right here on these little flowers. There we go. Okay, beautiful. All right, let me get that out of the way. Now we can go ahead and glue the inside panel to the inside of our card. And we are done, my friends. All right, yay! Okay, we have our envelope, our card. Absolutely beautiful. I love them. I love the colors. They're so bright and cheery. And what a fabulous little sentiment. I can send these out to folks just to say I'm thinking about them. Or, you know, you could put a happy birthday on the inside and make it a birthday card. Or whatever the occasion may be. Just because, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hang in there. Wow, what a great job you've done, etc., etc. Anyway, you can get the idea. Super fun and fabulous cards. So friends, thank you all so much for hanging out with me this evening. I really appreciate all of you. I have so much fun doing these cards for you. And I hope that you enjoy them as well, and hope that you will look forward to the next one. Until next time, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.